Picture this. A little girl so poor she wore dresses made from potato sacks. Now imagine that same girl growing up to become one of the most powerful, most influential, and wealthiest women on earth. Sounds impossible, right? But this isn't a fairy tale. It's the raw, true story of Oprah Winfrey. Most of us know the headlines: the 25-year talk show reign, the multi-billion-dollar media empire, the queen of book clubs. But the chapters before the spotlight, they read more like a tragedy than a triumph. Today we're rediving into the Oprah story you never knew, the one that proves what it really means to be self-made. Section 1. The Potato Sack Childhood. Oprah Gale. Winfrey was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi to a single teenage mother. Life was harder than hard. No running water, no indoor plumbing, and clothes literally sewn from potato sacks. She spent her earliest years with her strict grandmother. Mistakes often meant harsh beatings, but there was one gift hidden in the discipline. Her grandmother taught her to read by age 3. Church soon became her stage. Little Oprah didn't just recite Bible verses, she performed them with passion, leaving the congregation stunned. They'd slip coins into her tiny hands. Those weren't just pennies. They were the first sign that her words had power and that people would pay attention when she spoke. Section 2. The Nightmare Move. At 6 years old, her life took a sharp turn. Oprah left the farm and moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother, who worked day and night as a maid. The small apartment was crowded, food was often scarce, and the streets outside were dangerous. And then came the trauma that would scar her childhood. Starting at age 9, Oprah endured years of sexual abuse from people she should have been able to trust. First a cousin, then an uncle, later a family friend. She carried the shame silently, blaming herself. Food became her comfort. By 12, she was spiraling, stealing, acting out, desperate for control. At 13, she ran away from home. At 14, she became pregnant, but the premature baby died shortly after birth. Her life was at a breaking point, teetering on disaster. And then, her father Vernon stepped in. He sent a one-way bus ticket to Nashville. That simple act pulled her out of the chaos and into a new life. Section 3. Strict Salvation. Vernon Winfrey was a man of discipline. His home ran on structure: early mornings, strict rules, mandatory reading, and daily essays. But unlike the chaos she had known, this structure came with something new: belief. Her father looked her in the eyes and told her she mattered. Oprah rose to the challenge. She became an honor student, joined the speech team, and started winning oratory contests across the state. Her confidence grew. By 17, her charisma landed her a job at a local radio station. That microphone confirmed what her grandmother's pennies had once suggested. Her voice was her destiny. Section 4. The First Crash. With a scholarship, Oprah went to college for speech and drama, but before graduating, she was hired as a TV news anchor in Nashville, the first black female to ever hold that role. On paper, it was history-making, but in practice, it didn't fit. Oprah's empathy, her emotions, her heart, things that would later make her great, were seen as weaknesses in the world of hard news. She was eventually removed from the anchor desk, a public embarrassment. But here's the twist: that rejection became redirection. Instead of news, Oprah landed on a daytime talk show. Suddenly, the very traits that once got her criticized, her emotions, her connection with people, became her greatest strengths. Section 5. The Chicago Takeover. In 1984, Oprah took a huge gamble. She moved to Chicago to host AM Chicago, a failing morning talk show. Ratings were in the gutter and nobody expected much. But Oprah did something revolutionary. She ditched the script. She looked guests in the eye, asked real questions, and connected on a human level. Within a year, the show jumped from dead last to number 1. By 1986, it was rebranded The Oprah Winfrey Show, syndicated nationwide and reaching millions daily. At just 32 years old, Oprah had changed television forever. Section 6. Owning the Table. Unlike most TV hosts, Oprah didn't settle for a paycheck. She wanted ownership. She founded Harpo Productions, Oprah spelled backward, and gained full control over her show and profits. Her authenticity became her trademark. She spoke openly about her struggles with abuse, weight, and self-doubt. When she wheeled out 67 pounds of fat to symbolize her weight loss, millions felt seen. When she revealed her childhood trauma, hotlines across the nation lit up with survivors finally speaking out. She didn't just host a show. She created a safe space where millions found healing, inspiration, and connection. Section 7. The Oprah Effect. Her influence was so powerful that economists coined a new term, the Oprah Effect. A book she recommended became an overnight bestseller. A product she mentioned sold out instantly. She expanded beyond TV, launching Oxygen Media and later OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. Critics mocked her when OWN struggled, calling it a failure, but Oprah restructured, refocused, and within 5 years turned it profitable. Once again, she proved her resilience. Section 8. Billionaire and Beyond. In 2003, Forbes named Oprah America's first black female billionaire. Her current net worth exceeds $3 billion. But money was never her true goal. She invested heavily in education and empowerment. Her Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa has sent hundreds of underprivileged students to college. She lobbied for the National Child Protection Act, creating a registry of sex offenders. And in business, her investments, from Weight Watchers to Apple, carried the same themes: health, growth, and purpose. Section 9. The Core Code. Strip away the fame and the fortune, and Oprah's story boils down to 3 guiding principles. Your past does not define your future. Pain can be fuel. Authenticity is magnetic. People trust what's real. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Use your struggles to lift others. These weren't just words she preached. They were the code she lived by. From potato sacks to billionaire status, Oprah didn't wait for a miracle. She became her own miracle. She turned trauma into triumph, rejection into redirection, and wounds into wisdom. So here's my question for you. Which lesson from Oprah's story will you take with you today? If this inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that their current chapter is not their final chapter. Because as Oprah's life proves, where you start is just geography. Where you finish, that's a decision you make every single day.